Hi guys, hope you're all well and welcome to this week's Crypto Chiefs YouTube analysis video where we're going to take a look at the outlook for March, some things to keep an eye on as well. Before we begin the video, please don't forget, as always, to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and in the comments section below I'm going to pin a link to our free Telegram group where you can receive daily market updates and updates on the trades we are taking in the premium group, and also a link to our website where we post all of the results from our premium signals group. We've just uploaded the February results, which was another great month. So moving on to this week's video, I will start with just looking at some of the key indexes, things to keep an eye on, because obviously we know how much this affects crypto. So beginning with the S&P 500, and we're kind of quite an interesting point really, because we broke out at the start of the year from the 1 year downtrend here, and we can see we've just back tested this. It looked for a little while like we were going to accept back into the previous downtrend, but we did get a perfect bounce from that trend line and also the daily demand, which we can clearly see here. The uptrend though, however, which has been sort of since mid-October, this uptrend line here is now acting as resistance. We can clearly see that. And the weekly close last night came in pretty much right on that line. So very interesting, quite critical Monday how it opens. If this level is flipped, then we could look for another push up. If we do reject again, potentially coming back to the daily demand level for another retest. The US dollar, let's take a look at that next. We know that for the most part, the US dollar works opposite to crypto. So if the US dollar is bullish, then crypto is often bearish and vice versa. So we can see that from the start of the year, we had this really strong move down on the US dollar, which coincided with the strength of crypto. And just recently, we have seen the US dollar push back up. We've kind of got like a 5% move, I think, here from the bottom. Just under 5% move there on the US dollar. But we can see that it is facing resistance as expected at this key level, which was a previous support resistance flip area. So this is an important zone to look at, the 105 level. Flip this, we could look to push up to test the downtrend, sort of around 107, but reject here and we likely go back lower, perhaps down, to head back down towards the 100 level. Total 2, for those of you who have seen my tweets a couple of times this week, I've mentioned this. So this is the market cap excluding Bitcoin. So essentially takes a look at how altcoins are performing. And no surprise to see that since New Year's Day 2023, it's been in a really strong uptrend. This trend line has been respected perfectly as support. However, yesterday we did break down and close below this for the first time. And as I mentioned, when this happens, it's very likely we do head lower. So the first level I've got my eye on really is around the 540 billion level here. We can see clearly that is a previous key level support and resistance a number of times. So yeah, for the total 2 market cap, potentially a pullback to 540 from here, which of course that move will see a further pullback on altcoins. We may get a push up to retest the recent breakdown before that happens. So for example, a move back up to 580 billion before coming back down to 540. So we might get a little bit of relief in altcoins before that. Of course, there's every chance we may just go straight down to test this at 540 without any push up. Now, looking at Bitcoin itself, let's just remove this volume profile for a moment. And it's obviously everyone's sort of quite bearish over the last day. We saw this big drop. But it's very important to remember that we're still in an ascending channel. Okay, we are sitting on support now, so very undecided. But after this impulsive move up at the start of the year, until this is broken, onto the downside, and this is the daily chart, then there's every chance we do push up here, and we can go back to test up around 25,000 again and above to maintain this uptrend. Of course, a close below this, and we very likely head lower, but okay, everyone's bearish, but we are on support. So really the time to be bearish is up here when we get to the resistance areas, but right now on support, we should be, we shouldn't rule out the possibility of a bounce here. If we do break below this, then if I put that volume profile back again for 2023, we see we're going to have support at around 21,800, which is the value area low for this. But if we do lose this support trend line, as well as this, if this is broken below, then we very likely start to head lower still. Now, one of the things that we know affects crypto, but all of the global markets, is the current inflation situation and the US FOMC, the Fed meetings. And something very interesting to keep an eye on, we have the next FOMC meeting towards the end of this month, I believe the 22nd of March. And this is the Fed Watch tool, and it's available online, and it just tells you what the market is expecting. So almost what is being priced in at the moment. And really interesting to note that 1 month ago, on the 3rd of February, 97% of the market was expecting that in this meeting in March, we just have another 25 BPS rise. 3% of the market was actually expecting a freeze, so no more raises from the Fed. 1 month later, we can see that actually 70% of people are expecting the 25 BPS. Nobody expects a freeze, but 30% of people almost are actually expecting a steeper increase of 50 BPS. So 50 BPS is very much on the table this month. And if that happens, of course, we do see a much stronger pullback in the market. The reason for this is the last few releases of data that we've had relating to inflation haven't been as encouraging. We've not seen such a pullback, kind of signs that inflation is staying at a set level, and therefore the Fed may need to increase rates sharper to start to tackle inflation more aggressively. And another thing to note as well is most of the market was expecting that May or June that the Fed would freeze there'd be no more rises from then. However, now it looks like the market is expecting 3, potentially even 4 more raises. And the market is now not expecting a Fed pivot until January or March 24, whereas at the start of the year, people was expecting it to be November. So that's just something to keep in mind, that inflation, there are signs that it's not as under control as we thought. And of course, the outcome of these meetings is very much going to affect the market over the next couple of weeks. CPI is going to be a really key reading, as always, probably more so than ever, because people really want to see if the other data that's come out, if are things under control, are they not? The 14th of March is the date to keep an eye on for CPI. Another thing we have in March is the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade. And so right now, just looking here at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, and we can see that actually over the last couple of weeks, Ethereum has been stronger than Bitcoin. And we're kind of at an area of resistance here. So we're either going to look to flip this and perhaps move quickly up on Ethereum, which would outperform the market, and in doing so would likely bring altcoins with it. But if we break down from this, then obviously we may see a weakening in Ethereum. Now the Shanghai upgrade is predicted to be the 14th of March, I believe. Now, very important to keep an eye on this, because what it means that there's a lot of Ethereum that has been staked for a couple of years that investors haven't had access to. It's now going to be unlocked. So there's going to be a lot a lot of people that have the ability to sell Ethereum if they want to, that didn't have the ability before. So we could see a push down in price around the 14th of March. So that's really the key event in terms of coins that I'm looking at for this month. Is Ethereum, and what I'm looking at for the price action is where we are right now. Similar to Bitcoin, we're going to have support at the 2023 value area low, so 1525 area. Just below that, we've got the 2023 VWAP, which is right on $1,500, and which I've said a number of times is a really psychological level for Ethereum. And the chart doesn't lie. We can see how many times this has bounced from this. So I'm expecting that would become an area of support first. If we do see a really strong sell-off because of the upgrade, 1,300 area is really something to keep an eye on as a good buying opportunity, probably for at least a medium-term swing. Look, we have this uptrend line, support trend line running from the June lows last year, and it has had a number of touches maintained perfectly. And there's a chance that this would coincide with the previous quarter VWAP. So October, November, December, the VWAP for that period. If we get a move down, something like this, I think this is a really good area to buy. So if we get it, keep an eye on 1,300 for Ethereum. Hope you found this video useful, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.